To Comprehensive Code YouTube channel. Today we'll be solving Leetcode 502 IPO. Let's read the question first and understand it. Suppose Leetcode will start its IPO soon. In order to sell a good price of its shares to venture capital, Leetcode would like to work on some projects to increase its capital before the IPO. Since it has limited resources, it can only finish at most K distinct projects before the IPO. Help Leetcode design the best way to maximize its total capital after finishing at most K distinct projects. You are given n projects where ith project has a pure profits I, and a maximum capital of capital I is needed to start it. Okay. Initially you have W capital. Okay. When you finish a project, you will obtain its pure profit, and the profit will be added to your total capital. Okay. Pick a list of at most K distinct projects from given projects to maximize your final capital and return the maximized capital. The answer is guaranteed to fit in 32-bit signed integer. Alright, let's take this as an example. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So here we have two distinct projects, and the initial capital we have is 0, and the profits for each project is given this, and the capital required for the project to start is given here. Since we don't have capital at the beginning, we should start the first project, right? Okay, 0th project. Okay, as you can see here, since your initial capital is 0, you can only start the project at index 0. Okay, when you finish this, let's see what happens. When you finish the first project, you will gain 1. Okay, now you have capital of 1 since you gained 1 from this profit. Now the new capital is 1. Okay, since you have this 1 as new capital, now you can start second project or maybe third project, right? And which project should you start to maximize the profit? I think you should start third project, right? If you start third project, then what will happen is you will spend 1, and then you'll be remaining with 2, and then the new capital will be plus. You'll spend this 1 here, 1 minus 1, okay, plus, and you'll gain this 3. Okay, now what happens here? This is 3, right? Okay, that's good. Now since you have 3 capital, now you can start this project, right? And when you start that project, what happens to the new capital? The new capital we have 3, right? And then you will burn 1, right? There is -1. Okay, and what we'll gain is, at the end you'll gain profit of 2, right? What is the sum of this? So the sum of this is 3 minus 1 is 2, and then 2 plus 2 is 4. So the maximum profit you can get is 4. That's why the answer is 4. Okay, all right, let's think about how we can solve this problem. Seems like when we choose which project to work on, we have to pick up a project with the least capital at the beginning, and as long as we have the capital that we can afford to that project, we can pick that project, right? And then, like, we want to maximize the profit, so we will take the project with the maximum profit for the next pick. So That means like we are greedily doing that. And so now you might have think, okay, how can we solve this? Seems like this can be solved using like sorting and maintaining some kind of prioritizing these profits, higher profits, picking those projects with higher profits first. And for those type of problems, I think MaxHeap will be a perfect solution. And let's see if that works for us. So for sorting, what we can do is, if we have something like this, for example, capital and then profit, okay, and then capital and profit, and then capital and profit, okay, profit here. If we maintain this tuple and sort this, okay, this is sorted right now, but sort with ascending order of capital so that the project with less capital gets started first. Okay, now if we do that, since we have only K projects, we want to pick a project with maximum profit. That means we can maintain a max heap of these profits, and then we can pick K projects and put that into the heap, max heap, and the one with the maximum profit will be picked at that particular point. I think it is getting a little confusing here, but I'll explain everything in the code line by line, and it will be very much clear and you will understand it very clearly. With that, let's start the code. Okay, first thing first, let's define that length of the projects and projects. So we have length of the, okay, that is just length of the profits. Okay, this is not number of projects, just say as n profits. Okay, length profits. Okay, let's say that length of profits. Okay, and then what we said was we'll define projects as a pair of this tuple, right? And that can be done like this: capital I, and then profits I, for I in range length of profits, right? Okay, now we maintain that projects and we need to sort that. PRO, okay, projects.sort, okay, and then we are saying like we also maintain a max heap so that we can select a project with the maximum profit. Okay, and we'll also define I just to track how many projects we have picked so far. So for I in range we have K projects, so we'll pick K projects, while I is less than the length of the projects profits. Okay, and then projects I and then 0, that means the capital we have right now should be less than or equal to the capital that we have as of now, so that we can start this project. So this part is here, like, so we have 0 capital, so we can start this project, right? So that has been checked here. Okay, and then we just do heap push, and what we want to do is we want to push projects I and then the profit at that particular project. So the profit is this one, right? Okay, so we are doing negative here because Python does not have a concept of MaxHeap, so we negate the profit, and then once we pop, we'll negate it so that like we'll get that back again. This is basically a min heap, so when we negate it, the minimum value will get at the top of the heap, but when we negate again, that will be the maximum value. Okay, and we just do I plus equal to 1, and then after that, if we don't have that heap, we just break this loop. Otherwise, what we do is W, we have to add. Okay, so basically W will be the new capital. Okay, what we have to do is the new capital will be heap pop and then the max heap, right? And then we have to negate it to get the original value back. Okay, and we just have to add that value, right? So that means this became that. Okay, now what we can do is it's basically this, right? I hope that is clear now. And at last, this is the profit that we'll be getting after finishing all the K projects, right? Just return K. And yeah, I think that should be pretty much it. And if you get confused, just let me know in the comments below. With that, let's start talking about the space and time complexity for this particular solution. Okay, so this time complexity for we are doing sorting for these profits. Like if the profits, we define of length of project as n, the time complexity for this would be order of n log n, right? So we are sorting that 1, and then plus here we are maintaining that heap. That means we have K projects maintained in a heap at a particular time, so that basically K log, and then we are iterating through all the projects here. So that means it will take log n time to do that. So basically that is the time complexity. Space complexity wise, it will be order of, the worst time complexity is order of n, because we are storing that projects as like this here. So that will take time complexity, space complexity of order of n. I think that should be it. With that, let's run this code. If I have not made any mistakes, maybe I have. Let's see. All right, so let's see what's the mistake here. We got 2, but we were expecting 4. All right, let's see what's wrong in here. Okay, we have length of projects, and then the project is capital I, and then profits I for I in range length of profits should be good. And we are sorting that projects. Okay, that should be good. And we're maintaining that max heap is equal to 0 for I in range that I is less than that, and then the projects at I 0, basically this one, is less than or equal to our capital. Then we want to add that profit in the max heap and increment the counter. And if we don't have max heap, just break it. Otherwise, we pop that from the heap and return not K. You have to return W, because that will be the net profit we have. Okay, with that, let's run the code. Okay, as you can see, it runs all the test cases here. And also let's submit the code. As you can see, this is pretty efficient. And that is the solution for this problem. If you find this very helpful, just hit like and hit subscribe in this channel. I want to grow this channel, And please hit like and subscribe so that I can this channel will grow a lot, and I'll bring other videos in the future as well, and hope to meet you soon. Thank you.